Hello, all. Eric, what's up? Chrissy, hello. Madison, hello. Hello, Deanna. Same to you. DW Green, very cool. Yes. SPI is on right now. Having it on the background. Saying some interesting stuff. Hello, Deborah. Lori. Tracy, hello. Brent, what's up? Kaylin, how are you? Jennifer. Brandy, hello. Joella, hello. How's everybody doing on this lovely Saturday night? Awesome, Rio. Thank you for watching. Hope you're enjoying them. Adrian, how you doing? Hey, Jen. Do I believe in God? Yes. I actually approach the paranormal from a Catholic perspective, basically. So, yeah, so I'm taking a little easy on the paranormal investigating just this week. I'll probably do some streams tomorrow for investigating. But, people have definitely been liking getting their questions answered when it comes to paranormal. So I can, answer some of those. That's why I've done a couple of these this week, and I'm going to try to do them every time I have time to do so every week. So I've investigated the paranormal for over 15 years, and so I'm going to leave this to you guys in the chat to ask me any questions you would like to about the paranormal, share a story, ask my opinion, circling around that subject of the paranormal. And we'll thank HDD, HRDA. Same to you. Sounds good, Jennifer. Nice, Joella. Sure, Celine, what's her name? Prayers that she recovers, whatever's going on. Well, up to you. At what age did I connect with my gifts? Within the first year of investigating the paranormal, it was like a spiritual awakening, was a flip of the switch. As soon as I went out to a cemetery the first night, I had my first experience of a little girl on voice recorder in front of a little girl's grave. So I shot of a little girl, in the corner of my bed, 3 weeks later, and boom, things started happening to me very quickly. And I didn't realize it, but I immediately started to become open to the spirit world and being sensitive to that world big time around my late 20s. Hello, Linda. A shout out to Wendy. Prayers for her recovery in the hospital. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate that. It can be a gift and a curse sometimes, yes. But I believe I have it for a reason. I've been trying, use it for good ever since I've discovered I've had it. Have you ever any new calls from clients that's seeking help? I do get messages from people. Some of them are like far away and complicated, and you have to vet these cases. And I'm definitely looking for more residential homes of families that may need help that I can go film. another episode of Up Against Evil, if they're dealing with a negative spirit in their home, Midwest or East Coast somewhere. Um, Obviously, that's what I really would like to be doing, is helping people in those types of situations. Hey, Marissa, what location was I most scared of? I don't know. I've been frightened in the past of like old places, like old asylums when I first went there, like Letchworth, and but there's a place I always mention, Revenant Acres, where I literally, for the first time ever, I felt something try to possess me, and half my body went to pins and needles, and we all had to bless ourselves, and the whole house shook, and I was with two other guys that were investigating for 30 years, and we had to leave that night because it was so dangerous. What's your comment about Dee tried to take out from Sarah's body? You can link to every portal. Are you talking about when I was with them? Hello, Mystified. Oh, thank you. Glad you liked the Netflix show, 28 Days Haunted. Make sure to watch on my YouTube channel right here, Mercy 28 Days Haunted. There's evidence in the story that goes a lot further for what I experienced, and a music video to a song that the spirit of that woman, Mercy Adelaide, knew about. And I had her humming the melody of a song that I came up with while I was in the house filming that Netflix show. Not yet, Kaylin. Hopefully that'll be coming soon, because that is an episode of Up Against Evil that I will be putting together in the most respectful manner, considering how disturbing that whole case is. But I wanted to see what transpired. Give a little bit more time before I put that together. Sounds good, Mystified. Thank you for the sub. God bless to you as well. Who are those two people, David? Hello, Vicky. Hello, Christy.
Never look back.
Never look back, SPI just said. What do you do to quiet the voices in your mind when you need to sleep? To be honest with you, when I go to sleep, interesting enough is I'll put some sort of movie, or like I'll put on a documentary on like of forensic files. I'll put the volume just low enough where I can just hardly hear the voices, where I kind of get distracted looking at what I'm looking at, and then slowly fall asleep. Because if I just do it naturally, it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. Hello, Candy. I'm okay. How about yourself? I am planning to be taking a road trip next week, and next Wednesday night, I'm going to be at a very awesome, infamous place. It's definitely infamous. I've never investigated before. As far as I know, I'm not sure if there's actually been any paranormal investigation there before, but it's a very infamous place. I'm excited to go check this out, and I will be planning to live stream Wednesday night from that place. I will be announcing that on Wednesday night, and planning to hit up some other locations on this trip next week. Yes, I have met Jason Hawes. Nice guy. Hello, Aaron. Yeah, Forensic Files is like relaxing to watch, to be honest with you. And again, guys, if you're just coming in, if you have any questions for me about the paranormal, share a story, ask my opinion. I'm doing this as an open channel to speak with y'all. I will be doing a lot of investigating probably next week, starting Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm going to do some live investigating too. Nope, you're not the only one, Eric. Have ever encountered hostile people on your explorations? Luckily not, Trapper. But I do have a time where we went down to a place that was 15 minutes away from the Amityville house in Long Island, and there's a place called Sweet Hollow Road. Long road, there's like no lights, and we stopped off in the dead end in the forest, and we stopped in the car, and we were about to go out in the woods. It's supposed to be haunted, and whatchamacallit, we saw a guy in a full dark hood come out of the woods with a duffel bag, like a satanic robe. And we got back in our car, and we were just like, nope, nope. And we were driving away. He was following us and stuff. And this was like the first year of investigating or something, like, you know, I mean, I was just like a beginner for me. What's up, David? Nice, Mary Beth. Make sure to watch on this channel, Mary Beth, Mercy 28 Days Haunted. It's evidence you didn't see in the show of how much more actually happened with my connection to that woman. And I did a music video dedicated to the song, to the loss of her captain. And the spirit was aware of the song. And there's evidence of it on the video on this channel. What's the best thing to do if you suspect paranormal activity in your home? Well, obviously, I'm, you know, realizing the paranormal. I approach it from a Catholic standpoint. I would bless the home. I would take holy water and recite the Archangel Michael prayer. Go into every room, every corner of every room, every closet, every crevice of the house, and make sure that any negativity's out of the house. But typically how I approach the investigations as well, like, you know, when I go into someone's home, and if you're just dealing with a human spirit and there's just kind of weird stuff going on, I try to like offer prayer for the spirits. I try to get down to an individual level with them and try to offer them incentive to find peace and not just try to force them out of the house. But it's really just dependent on what's going on in the home. You know, is it just things moving around, playful stuff, or is there an oppressive situation where someone's feeling attacked, you know, or having nightmares or more, you know, negative type stuff going on in the home? Then it would be a different story. Sounds good, Mary Beth. Hello, Shelly. Are you going to, you mean sing again? It is unusual to see orbs on a security camera at night. Is it unusual? Well, I'd say a lot of the times they would probably be something rational. When I look at something that would be considered an orb, what I call spirit energy, I would be looking for some sort of intelligent path that's defying gravity, to, you know, disseminate that it's something anomalous. It would have to be something anomalous or a bug. So if it's not a bug and it has intelligence to it and it defies gravity, then I would say that that could be spirit energy. But late at night with an infrared camera, when no one's around, I mean, can a spirit project and show itself and see it on camera? I mean, it's not abnormal. Hey, Christy. No problem, Charlotte. Yes, I'm sure I will sing. I have a song I have to release that I haven't released yet. Yes, spirits follow me everywhere, Madison. Why do we dream of glowing orbs? You're dreaming of glowing orbs. Blue's typically angelic or protective. There are different colors that go a little bit deeper, and there's different perceptions of what those colors really mean. So it might be, you know, some sort of representation of spirits that are watching over you or family or loved ones. Sean, did Gary Galka show you the new equipment he did for Zach? Yes, I saw it in person with him a while back, over a year ago. He was showing me how it works. It's pretty amazing. The Radio X? Yeah. No problem, Candy. What's up, Hackness? Hello, Shelly. Guys, appreciate giving this video a thumbs up at the top of the screen. Thank you for tapping on the screen. I know there's a bunch of people, probably out on, it's the weekend, Saturday night, but figure come on here for a little bit, and then I'll do some live streaming tomorrow, do a little investigating. Vicky, thank you. Hello, Nada. Welcome. Again, guys, if you're just coming in, this is the chat. Ask me any questions about the paranormal, share a ghost story, ask my opinion about something. And again, I've been investigating the paranormal for over 15 years. Glad to have you all here. Hello, Mr. Coffee Break. How we doing? Yes, guys. I also have the SAM mode on here if you have any questions about the software from the concept that I came up with. No limitation to what spirits can say. On the SAM mode, specifically engineered to interpret EVPs translated to text from the audio environment outside of human speech frequencies. And you gotta be patient, but as you can see on some of the videos I've been posting on my YouTube, amazing results, connectivity to the spirit box, responses, and EVPs. It's been pretty wild. So definitely check it out. It's on iOS right now. We are hoping to have Android out before the end of this year. The oldest place, 1700s, I think, Maverick, or 1600s. I mean, there's place in 1600s I've been to in Salem, but definitely 1700s. Doing all right, Bree. How about yourself? Oh, cool,
Here.
Eric. Just said here at HEAR. I still have a little bit left. Thank you, Deanna. I think I have a little bit left. Yeah, definitely whirlwind. It's an understatement. Oh, wow, mystified. I'm gonna try to bang out one more video and get it to YouTube before I go on this trip, because I might be gone for like a week or something. So I'm gonna try to start working on that probably tomorrow. Hello, Sandra. I don't know what you're referring to, like this. Have I done anything with Ralph? No, Ralph is pretty much retired down in Florida and enjoying his peaceful life. No, unfortunately not, Christy. Oh wow, Lori. That's where I'm going to be going next Wednesday, to Virginia. This is my first stop to a location. Yeah, Jennifer. Vicky, thank you. Oh, nice. Well, that's cool. There's going to be a lot of people there. Again, guys, if you're just coming in, you want to ask me something about the paranormal, glad to have you. Just doing a little chat tonight. It's probably good I just take a little break, with constantly engaging spirits. With all that creepy stuff going on in here, too. The whole thing, even last night when I left the camera overnight, I don't know if some of you were in there, it was saying, come to the bathroom again in the mirror. It was doing it again with the devices that I had on last night before I went to sleep. I really don't like that thing, whatever it's trying to draw me to the mirror. Whatever locations I can, get permission to go to, or anything that's new and exciting, or something that I hear out of word of mouth. Nice, Lori. Nice, Bree. You can keep that experience, Deanna. Yeah, Jennifer. I'm not surprised, David. Thomas House has definitely been on my radar. I've heard about it. I only did like a cemetery or something, I think, in Canada, but not really. Did a couple of cemeteries. I was briefly there years ago. Do you have any experiences where spirits mess with doors? I've seen doors slam before over the years, definitely. Actually, my door here moved by itself a couple of times. Sorry to hear that, Bree. My brother saw a dark shadow on camera next to my mom's car the day she passed. Thoughts? I mean, could it be connected? It could be. Um, it's definitely something to think about if it was legitimately a shadow figure. Does the spirit box SB11 have a wireless feature? Mm, no, I don't. I think he's starting to use Bluetooth in the future versions of spirit boxes, if I stand correct. Last time I talked to him. Do you have any experiences? Yes, I saw that. Have I been scratched? Yes, I have. Quite a few times. It's been a while. It's happened, though, sporadically. I've had stuff happen, for sure. Actually, quickly tell you the story. I was helping this girl who was possessed, and while she was pregnant, actually. And I was praying for her over the phone, and I felt burning on my arm, and there was 13 slashes that showed up on my arm while I was on the phone with her. It looked like a cat had its way with my arm. Literally 13 of them. I had the picture of it, too. Well, I live down in North Carolina right now, but looks like I'm going to be heading up in that direction a little bit. I'm going to have a few things to do, locations I'm going to be doing. Um, it's a long story, mystified. Unfortunately, a tragedy happened with the baby. Um, have I experienced a lot of poltergeist activity? I have experienced throwing objects, things being thrown and things like that over the years, but it is rare. It's definitely rare. Not sure about Pennsylvania yet. I'm kind of winging some of this. I'm trying to line up an itinerary of locations. I have potentially 3 locations lined up. Um, so, but I have the first one confirmed, and that's next Wednesday. So I'm beginning my trip, and then I'm gonna have to figure out which day is the second and third one, and hopefully maybe another one I can land to. I could be a resident at the orphanage. Yeah, wonderful. I'm not sure it's a possibility, Vicky. Do I ever think I made a contact with a famous spirit, celebrity, or well, just recently we were at the Haunted Museum where they had some of Charles Manson's ashes. He's definitely a dark celebrity, and I believe that was his voice that came through. You gotta kick Tom out, Christy. Well, I don't think I ever spoke to him. Massachusetts for sure. Will you collaborate with my friend Sarah? Well, they live in Indonesia. I'm sure if they came to the States, that I would end up collabing with them again for sure. Advice on what? What got me interested in the paranormal? Um, I was always interested in like horror movies and watching documentaries, things like the shows like Sightings, Unexplained, Unsolved Mysteries, and Haunting and things like that. And I was waitering at a restaurant, and there was a big skeptic friend of mine that um, I decided to take him out to a cemetery to have him an experience, and instead I had my own experience. And that's what drew me in. That was my trigger. It's kind of the irony to it all, really. Just trying to prove it to someone else. You know, I never thought about myself because I'm like, why didn't I just go out and look for myself? I never thought about it. I was just watching TV and thinking like, and little did I know I could literally go down to a cemetery, and just like turn on a recorder or turn on something, and boom, there it is. The answer was right there waiting. Um, yeah, no problem. Oh, thank you, Deanna. Well, the only legitimate possession case that I dealt with was that case of that girl. I wrote about it in my second book, Shadow Chaser: The In Between. It's a very harrowing, dark case. That was the only genuine possession case I dealt with. Um, Everything else that I've dealt with, when it comes to demonic hauntings, I have the ability to do the exorcism ritual on a location. I can assist in a demonic infestation, is what we call it. When they infest a location, I have permission to do so, where I would do the ritual, the exorcism ritual. But if it's a person, a solemn exorcism, that'd have to be a Catholic priest. So I have done multiple exorcism rituals at locations over the years, but there's only that one case was the only definitive real possession case that I have dealt with that was truly genuine and real. I have no book coming out any soon,
There's
but
no way.
there's no way. I have thought about it because I do have a lot more stories and a lot more places that I've been that I could do a continuation. My third book, I've been to a lot more places since my second book, so there's definitely some interesting ones. I probably should write a book about my whole story with the castle. Um, I probably should write that. That could be its own book in itself, and how it was connected to the Delphi case. And I end up going to the Delphi place where the girls were unalived, tragically. That was the SPI, Christy. It just said there's no way. I have it on Sam right now. I did not know I was psychic. Were there omens when I was younger? Yes, I didn't think about it until it all started to unravel and I started investigating the paranormal, and having dreams, premonitions. And when I wrote my first book, I kind of looked back and thought, were there any signs? And there definitely were. There were definitely some strange things. You know, when I was 3 years old, my mom would say I'd be in the bathtub, and I would tell her I remember being in her womb, and I remember being in space. And weird things. I'd have dreams of people's faces that I never met before, and I asked myself, could my imagination like make up these people's faces? Um, or the story I always tell, when I was about, I don't know, between 8 and 10 years old or something. I was running home. We had a house out in Long Island that we would go to during the summer, and I was running home between houses, and there was like tall dead grass, and something was in my peripheral vision, and I saw what was there, and it was a book, and I picked it up. It was a satanic book. It was burnt on the outer edges. Had this really creepy feeling. Threw it down and cried, running home to my mother. It's little things like that that I like kind of looked back at it. I'm just like, that just stood out in my mind as like some sort of omen of what I'd be dealing with later on in my life. Um, there was also this story that I've told many times. So 3 years before I got involved in the paranormal, a girlfriend of mine who I was talking to came to my house to hang out, and she never told me this story, because she thought I would have thought she was crazy. But she decided to tell me the story because 3 years later, when I started posting paranormal stuff on the social media, when I started getting into it, she's decided to share it with me that she pulled up that house to a house I was staying at with roommates, and she saw this dark hooded thing and turned its face. It was looking into the window of my place, and It turned its head, had dark eyes, and it disappeared. She said it was the most terrifying thing she's ever seen before, and disappeared. And to me, that experience with her, it was like this dark thing was watching from the outskirts before I got involved. It knew, because there's no time conception in the spirit world. Time is linear, so it kind of knew that I would be getting involved. So again, there's little signs and omens that happened throughout the years as it was leading up to what I like to call of walking onto the spiritual rules of engagement, and when everything kind of switches, and that Matrix movie moment where you want the blue pill or the red pill, where Sean opened up himself to the paranormal, and 15 years later, my life has definitely gone on a crazy adventure. Yeah, pretty much. What do you need advice with? Yes, it was definitely called and meant to do what I'm doing, and that's why I'm still doing it and trying to do it and battling to do it and carrying the crosses of dealing with all these dark things, and for the sake of trying to do good and bring light to where darkness reigns, however I can, and make a difference. I really just want to do the paranormal, and another 10, 15 years from now, and know that I left something important, impactful in the paranormal, that's positive, left my mark, kind of like my predecessors and people that I respect, like my mentor in demonology, Ralph Sarchi, or the Warrens or John Zaffis, people that have really done the work and just trying to do something that's really positive, because I'm so passionate about the paranormal and doing good with it. I've seen all about it, Melinda. Actually, it's funny you say that, because they just posted some new picture of him with the hood on, and he looks. I want to throw up when I see his picture. It's so bad. Intuitively, it's really bad. I literally just saw his picture on X, and I was like, phew. Yeah, it's awful, 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 awful. There's a lot of strange correlations to the Amityville case, Melinda, with the Idaho kids, which I thought was interesting. I did make a video about it when it happened, um, because he went and unalived these kids during the same time that Amityville took place, on the same date, um, which was November 13th, around 3 or 4 in the morning. And if Amityville happened around 3:15 in the morning. There was just a lot of weird. If you look it up online, the most recent pic that the authorities just released, a lot of weird coincidences with it. If your loved one's in a dream, they could be coming to visit you and give you a sign or a message that could be symbolic in nature, not literal. Do you ever get bad vibes from a living person, a hunch that you... Yes, absolutely, Kaylin. Yes, Spencer, you can ask a question. That's why I'm here tonight, whatever you want to ask. It is unnerving. What do you do to spiritually protect yourself? My faith is strong. It's a little harder for someone like me, and it definitely can be a challenge sometimes, because I'm sensitive. So I'm not just like the regular person where things kind of like float around and things like that. Like, I am more prone to like picking up on emotions of spirits, even the dark spirits. Their twisted, sadistic nature, and I have to be like twice as careful, in my opinion. Um, but my faith is, has been my protection. I probably wouldn't even be here right now if it wasn't for my faith. Definitely can be a struggle sometimes, but um, especially when you're going through things normally, organically in your life, and then if you have like enemies in the dark realm, these dark spirits that want to retaliate against you, they know that you're going through certain things, and they will use that opportunity to kind of throw gasoline on that fire subconsciously. Yeah. So it's definitely a cross to carry, for sure, sometimes. It has to do with another network, another paranormal investigator, but I've grown to love this guy, Zach Bagans, which I mean, Zach Bagans, I mean, Ghost Adventures, they paved the way for many people in the paranormal world. I remember when they first came out with their documentary, it was on Sci-Fi Channel, and I was really impressed with what they did, and they deserved to have like a show, and I was hoping that their documentary would turn into a series when I was just a viewer. I was just a viewer and interested and loved watching shows. He's created a kingdom for himself. I mean, and I know the pressure and the things that go on in TV shows, and it's not easy either, man. I've been there too, so I've been to his museum. It's phenomenal. Um, had experiences leading up, during, and after the museum. In your opinion, the spirits, demons you encounter are the same ones from when Jesus walked the earth? Redeemed, I mean, that's an interesting question. I mean, it's definitely possible, but that's not something that I've ever like tapped into or got a reference to that. Um, whether that was the case, but that's an interesting question for sure. Hello, Tricia. Any suggestions on recording settings on voice recorders like sample bitrate? The lower the bitrate, the higher the white noise, Matt, the better chance of the spirit using that white noise to project a louder EVP. Nice, Spencer. Hello, Brandy.
The night grows.
The night grows. Evening, Les. How we doing? Brandy, thank you. How we doing? Brandy, thank you. Have you ever been to Iowa? I have not heard of that, Admer, but I have been to Iowa. I investigated a creepy place called Malvern Manor in Iowa. I know the what's that place called? The Axe House. What's that place called? I never got to go there. But Malvern Manor was really haunted in Iowa. On your paranormal investigation, did you have an experience when something threw at you? Yes, I've had things thrown at me. Yes. A rock, a tobacco chew can, for two examples. One of them happened at Bobby Mackey's. Hello, Kristen. Nice, Spencer. Yeah. Do the entities feed on negative energy arguments? Yes, 100%. Negative energy wants negative energy. And if they're an entity that represents that type of energy, then they're going to want to have more of that to feed off of it. And especially if they're malevolent in nature, then that's even more than reason. Not only do they want to, feed off that energy, they do want to create that. They do want to create chaos and suffering. It's like that is their ideal. What was your question, Linda? I'm sorry if I missed it. What was the all-time hardest investigation for you, both spiritually and emotionally? This case up here, Malefice, that lived with me for 5 years. Tried to mess with my personal life. It was a dark evil case where I believe I helped and assisted two female spirits to cross into the light, and demonic evil force wanted to take revenge against me and sat with me for 5 years and tried to mess with my personal life and took credit for something and realized I had to return to the place after 5 years and didn't even know if I was going to be filming a documentary, and ended up happening last minute. But I was going back there to confront what had come after me. And went back there and investigated the place for 4 days, and I did an exorcism ritual in the home. Finally, do I hear still references to that guy sometimes? Yeah, but it's not as much as it was, initially. You can't destroy evil. You can only displace it somewhere else. You can't destroy energy. So, especially when I'm still involved with the paranormal and I go and engage spirits and go to these dark places, all these dark things that I've encountered before can come through, referencing themselves, and, I'm still being open to that. So, yeah, 5 years. Yep, the Mason House. What's up, Alfred? Trisha, on and off. You know what's actually funny? It's funny you should say that. I was dozing off yesterday, and I saw this brunette laying down next to me. She had a very like peaceful face. She kind of just like did this like next to me, and I didn't have a bad feeling or anything. I'm not sure if that was Anna. I feel like it may have been someone else. I feel like it was a different female spirit, but I saw it in my mind's eye, like laying next to me, and she just had like peace in her eyes. I don't think it was Anna, to be honest with you. I feel like it was someone different. I just had a very calming energy. I feel like Anna's more playful and flirty, as you may have seen in investigations. But this was someone different. I don't know. Oh, I know you do, Jen. Will my deceased husband know me in heaven? Absolutely, Linda. 100%. 100%. Hello, Spawn. You know, our souls come to, in my opinion, our souls, in my belief, our souls come to live in this physical body to for an opportunity to bring a brightness to our soul, to learn, to try to overcome these horrible obstacles sometimes that life throws at us. And if you can turn something into light that was really emanating from darkness, then you've accomplished that mission. And then when you return home, when we all return home, I believe that realization of why we came here in the first place, if your soul transitions into the light, I believe that's kind of like you're connecting back to your higher self, who we are as a core, truly, eternally, infinitely. And all that knowledge that comes from the experience from here, anywhere you go, will absolutely be connected, I'm sure, with your husband. Linda, anytime that you think about your husband randomly, just know that he's there with you. There's no conception of time in the spirit world. If you get a feeling, if a song comes on the radio, he is there with you. Trust me, it's happened with my father many times. Luckily, I have a gift that I'm able to like hear my dad talk to me and say things to me randomly and pick up on his presence. But I'm telling you right now, your loved ones are there with you in the most important parts of your life too, that are, big moments for you, especially. I'm sure you'd like that, Jen. Yeah, hey, Christina. Hello, Marlene. So when we unalive, we don't go straight to heaven. I feel like that some souls do, but I think because there's so many diversified ways that people pass away, if it's a lower vibrational passing, like a tragedy or an unaliving, or something of that nature, that could lead to someone being earthbound or choosing to be earthbound, being consumed with the tragedy that led to their passing, wanting justice for their passing because someone took that from them. Those are the types of things that I would be, in my opinion, that would lead to a recipe of a ghost. Hello from England. You can watch the documentary on scarenetwork.tv, or if you want a physical signed copy of DVDs, if anyone has that, I have it on my website, seandaustin.com. Anywhere in the U.S., that is. I mail out signed copies of my books and some DVDs. That's good, Jane, that you dream about them. Because, when you dream, that's when you're most susceptible to the spirit world. You're in a meditative state. Your subconscious is awake. Your rational mind's fully asleep. Spirits know this. They know that you're not going to try to discount an experience. That's who you are as a core. You're a spiritual being living a human experience, not the other way around. And spirits will project and telepathically influence your dreams to give messages to you. And that was something that Lorraine Warren said to me when I first met her, is that keep a journal to your dreams, especially with your loved ones or if you're having an experience like that, because it may be symbolic. It may be some sort of answer or information that will make sense at a later date. So write it down. I know you might be half asleep. Write it down, keep note to it, and it might make sense. If they say something to you or there's an impression or an image that comes with that visitation, take note to it. If a spirit doesn't know that they've passed, and that does happen, you know, I try to encourage all spirits to find peace in themselves, you know, to let them know, to hopefully, if there's a voice that they'll hear, have encouragement for them to go. Yeah, I do believe in reincarnation too, so I'm a firm believer of that. I've been investigating the paranormal for over 15 years now. Sleep paralysis. I know a lot about sleep paralysis. I wrote a whole chapter about it in my first book. And a lot of sleep paralysis is linked to astral projection, when your soul leaves your body and travels places in the spiritual realms while you're sleeping. And sleep paralysis does occur. It's the first stage of your soul leaving your body while you're sleeping. So it's a very frightening feeling, but can an evil spirit, or can a spirit in general, induce that? Yes. That's why I always ask the individual if they had a vision of a spirit in the room with them, like a shadow figure or something. Because if they just feel sleep paralysis and you feel like something's on top of you, it doesn't necessarily mean that something is on top of you. It could just be naturally happening, where you might be leaving your body through one of your chakra points, and then the sleep paralysis will occur. SPI just said, "Are you here?" It is terrifying because there's a really strong bond, elasticity to your soul. There's something called the silver cord that attaches your soul to your physical body, and that bond doesn't want to let go. And so, if you know anything about astral projection, which I've had it, I've seen myself sleeping, I've come out of my body. It wants to pull you right back in your body because your body's still alive, and that connection's really there still. So that's why they say, if you want to have more of an experience of astral projection, which I've experimented with when I was out of my body, is that immediately you have to go somewhere, think of going somewhere, and you will go there rather than just getting pulled right back into your body. You can, Lainey. There's actually practices, even on YouTube, that you can, lay down, close your eyes, and do it. I remember the first time I tried it was before I even did the paranormal, and I felt a big buzzing in the back of my neck, and it freaked me out. But yeah, it happens, and it's endlessly fascinating. And there's actually another subject, which is another fascinating piece. Is there's something called the Akashic Records, and it's a spiritual library of everything that ever happened or ever will happen. And some believe that that's places where psychics actually tap into from that spiritual library and get information from, which is a very fascinating theory as well. It's all really, really super interesting stuff. Well, Brian, if you think that you're going on when you're flying your dreams, it could be connected to astral projection if it's a lucid experience, if you have control over the dream. Hello, Lynn. Try to go places just by thinking it. Usually when it's a normal random dream, things are just happening. You're just kind of experiencing it. It's not so controlled under your own environment. Yep, Trisha, definitely. I bet, Steven, yeah. Yeah, Christine. Does my family and husband miss me and still? Absolutely, Linda. There's no question. You shouldn't even have to question. I'm telling you right now. Trust me. The place, believe I've been taken to a place that I believe was actually heaven. I've been there 3 times now. It just happened to me. It just happened to me weeks ago. I made a post about it. I'm telling you right now, this place is nothing but euphoric peace, love, acceptance, and this oneness, that there's like a spiritual vein between you and every being in the place that you're there, and you feel this pulsating love going into every thing and every being that you're in there, and there's this electrical buzz of just love. It's just pure bliss. I mean, that's the place we get to go to. Then trust me, there's nothing to worry about. I do not fear death. A slow dying death would really be bad, but this is a place where we will reunite with our loved ones, and it will feel like they were never gone in this one instance. Well, the last I've had a couple of times. Um, so I'll tell you the first thing that happened. So I was in bed, and then all of a sudden, I was in the place. I was in this beautiful place. I was being taken, like someone was taking me. I don't know who it was. I didn't see anyone, but I saw like these clouds going by me, you know, zipping by, and I saw the most beautiful, naturistic, glistening waterfalls, like something out of like a science fiction fantasy movie, like a Disney movie came to life, just in awe of the beautiful, aesthetics of what I was seeing of nature and taking over these vast seas. And all while this was happening, again, I had this electrical buzzing energy all around me, filled with that love, peace, oneness, and just connected to everything there. And I knew I was out of my body. I knew I was in the bed. I'm like, I did not want this to end. I did not want this to end. And I'm like, oh my, I was screaming. I was like, oh my God. And I knew I was in my bed. And like, as I was screaming and just, oh my God, like what I'm feeling right now, like, what is this place? And like, I knew because I had this urge to scream when I was in bed, like my mouth wanted, and I knew I had to be careful because I didn't want it to end. Because as soon as like I connect back to my body, it was going to be over. Um, I tried to, hold on to it as long as I possibly could. And when I finally came back to my body, when I awoke, when I was sleeping in bed, I actually woke up and I started to tear. I was crying because I felt so unworthy from the place that I was just taken to. And I'm like, why? I don't understand that I was just taken to this place. I'm just like, I was so emotional about it. It was so profound to me. Um, yeah, I just have no words. And I don't know. Um, I don't know. I don't know. But again, if that's the place we are going to, which I'm pretty confident that is, there is definitely nothing to worry about. Any temporary pain or suffering that you go through in this life will immediately be diminished as if it never happened to you. No problem, Linda. I think it's important not to focus on, you know, we all struggle with this too. Like I even do sometimes too. It's really hard. But I actually am a firm believer in law of attraction. You got to think of yourself as a magnet and think about the things that you want to happen and not want to happen. And sometimes I fail at this too because it's sometimes you just feel like you're walking around a minefield of all the things that can go on. Um, but you really want to focus and tell the universe that you want good things to happen and tell the universe that you feel like you deserve it and you're grateful for it as if it's already yours. Be grateful for your health, your family, your friends, the things that you have that are so simplistic and the things that are so important to you. Um, because anything with fear is just leads to just negativity, and it's no surprise that these negative energies feed off that type of thing. So it's important to not feed on or focus on things that you're afraid of happening. As tough as it is, it's a real challenge. Like I said, I ain't perfect either. And whatever happens is going to happen. And the best thing you can do is just try to overcome it. Take something that's dark and turn it into something light, for yourself to learn from, and be that example of light for everyone that you encounter. That's the real challenge in the end. And but again, we're human. I mean, we're meant to not be perfect. So don't expect yourself to be perfect. Not one single person is perfect. No matter how far the facade puts on, or when you see social media, people put on this facade and everything's just joy and happiness, and you really just don't know what's going on behind the curtains because everyone's dealing with their own demons. Everyone's dealing with stuff. Everyone is going through their own share of struggles, whether you can see it, on the forefront or not. It's there. I mean, they're all dealing with their own struggles. We will all deal with loss. We will all deal with things that are hard for us in our own way. And whatever human being that we are individually, we're going through those struggles for a reason. And there's always somebody who has it worse than you, and it's so hard to hear sometimes. but there's always somebody that has it worse than you, and thank God that you have what you have. And I think that's the real lesson too, is to really be appreciative of the good things that happen in life, and when they do, because this is how we appreciate being happy, because that's probably why we come down here, because it's so freaking perfect there. We can only learn by being in a place, by not having the knowledge of where we come from, and having the choice, the free will to make the right or wrong choice, and how it affects people negatively or positively, and be a better person, be that light that God represents, unconditional love and forgiveness, which is eternal, and we're all part of. We are all children. We are all offspring of that light. We emanate from that place, in the end. So, and yeah,
Mammon.
something was pressing down you when you're sleeping. Yeah, that's sleep paralysis. Again, guys, welcome. For any reason that you're new into the paranormal, hope you'll give a sub or a follow. I'm live every week. I'm going to be going on a road trip and hitting up a handful of locations next week. I will be live probably at some point tomorrow and do some investigating. I'm glad to have all you here. Oh, thank you. Um, Laura Lynn, thank you for joining the Patreon. I appreciate you. Mystified, just saw you did that. Thank you guys for all the support. Um, if anybody, I appreciate all the gifts or super chats. It helps me to spend all this time working on content for you guys constantly. It takes forever to work on videos, like 30 hours a week, to put that much, time into that, and these trips and traveling and all that stuff. And anybody who wants to, throw down all my links to do so, right on my YouTube channel, or what Wen's posting, definitely super helpful. Yeah, thank you, Marlene. Again, guys, I'm here if you want to ask me any questions about the paranormal or share um, a story. Oh, thank you, Nancy. I appreciate you. I have not been to California in a hot minute. You've lived in a demonic house. The joy, right? Oh yeah, definitely, Brian. If you guys want to know when I'm going live, just make sure you hit the bell icon on my channel and sub to the channel. You can also join the Discord. The Discord is one of the links on my YouTube channel in the list. If you add yourself to it, that is a live chat, to telling everybody where I'm going, what's going on. Baltimore? Not planning to. What's going on in Baltimore? Yeah, I think you had portals. Yeah, Can happen. Brandy, thank you. Your cat, Simba, says hello. Nice. Oh, nice. Hello, Dion. Again, guys, if you're just coming in, if you want to ask me some questions about the paranormal for a little bit, just doing a chat tonight. I'm going to take a night off of engaging spirits. You talking about loved ones not being able to communicate? Can I pick up on animals? Well, my dogs that have passed away have come to me. Is it possible that I could see? I have seen dogs with loved ones before, even my friends. Will a dog appear with a loved one to me before? Somebody's loved one? Yes. As a matter of fact, I was having drinks at a bar in the Jersey Shore years ago, and of course I'm such a weirdo, and I just tapped this girl on the shoulder. I'm like, because I had a few drinks in me, and I'm like, your grandmother wants to know that she's with your dog, and she looked at me and just started bawling, crying in the bar. She's like, my dog just passed away, and my grandma passed away a few months ago. She like lost it. Well, we're also, earthbound, so we're kind of like right there with a lot of earthbound souls and evil spirits. So there's a lot of negativity in this world. So yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I know. I'm not trying to be the drunken medium. I've had a few experiences while having a few cocktails at a bar where I made some people cry. Mm. You had a weird psychic experience related to the live streams. One of my live streams, which one? Oh, TikTok. Giving me the puzzle pieces when I only had like 40 people watching. Really wondering how Twitch is. Might have to try it. Mm. Evolving perceptions. Nice. I wear a Blessed Saint Michael pendant around my neck. Um, I have a blessed relic. I have a crucifix that's blessed it and things of that nature. Obviously, everything's in that nature for me. She had lived 109 years, so I was amazed. Thought about her today and looked back at the screenshot. Turns out today is her birthday. Wow, Nikki, that's pretty crazy. That's creepy, Steven. Yes, I am on X. Sean D. Austin. Sorry to hear about that, Rose. How many cases have you closed after leading earthbound spirit to the light? I don't know, Dion. That's a good question. I've been to a bunch of, over the years, residential homes.
Us, we.
We. Again, guys, any questions you have for me regarding the paranormal, doing this for a little bit, welcome. Glad to have you. If you're into the paranormal, definitely give me a sub or a follow. Going to be going on a road trip next week, heading up a handful of locations. I'm going to probably be live again tomorrow, too, doing a little investigating. It can happen, Steven, for sure. Space Ghost, what's up? Why do spirits attach themselves to certain people? Cody asks. I think it's many different reasons. They might be attracted to their aura. There might be some sort of connectivity that they feel that they're relatable to what they went through in their life. They also might think that they might be a good victim if they're a negative spirit to latch onto to cause, some sort of chaotic situation. So it's never just one answer for something like that. I think it's many. On the SPI, what do you suggest someone start with it on it? The SAM mode, that's the part where it's engineered to listen to EVPs constantly, and I leave it on during the entire investigation to compare it to EVPs and Spirit Box responses. Should people stay away from spirit boards? I don't mess with Ouija boards. I was coerced to play with a Ouija board many years ago, got oppressed by an evil spirit, wasn't a walk in the park. I know plenty of people I'm friends with that mess around with that stuff. Me personally, I would never advise anyone to mess around with that stuff, any of those Ouija boards. And it's up to the free will of the individual, but I definitely would never advise anyone to do it. I personally think people should not mess with them. There's no conception of time. You can actually play the game, play the Ouija board one night, and something doesn't happen to you for years later until you have no clue it has anything to do with that one day you mess around with it. That invitation's open. It doesn't have to be open now, tomorrow, next month, or next year. That cemetery near me is insane. Mystified. Have a good night. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I know it's about to become Mother's Day. Are SBIs wise? What was that? Those who are not believers. You can have whatever belief system you have and use SBI. I mean, you're just trying to communicate and get answers. Obviously, I have my own Catholic prayers in the back of the app for protection that you can use before or after you do investigation. When a kid, my sister and I had experiences, but no deaths in that house. Like I said, they follow me. So what does that mean? What does what mean? I mean, you say that they're following you. What part do you mean? What does that mean? Well, there's your answer why that may have happened, Rose. Rose said things negative have followed her all their life, and had played with the Ouija board and didn't close it out. Yeah, if there's spirits that are attracted to your energy, if you live with them, they may come with you. Creepy, Christine. Rose, why don't you private message me on Insta? My Insta is Sean D. Austin. It's my handles for my social media or on my YouTube channel, and I can talk a little bit more about trying to help you. Do spirit boxes or SPI have the same risk as Ouija boards? I personally do not believe that, Whitney. I believe when you're having your hand on a planchette and you're asking the spirit to move with you, that's inadvertently channeling. You're giving it permission to channel through you and move with the spirit. When you're just holding a device and say, speak through this, I think that's a little bit different ballgame. You can have the spirit box on a table and just say, talk to me. So I think there's the fine line differentiate between the two of those. And 95% of demonic hauntings happen after people playing with the Ouija board, not with the spirit box or ITC devices. You've played with a Ouija board your entire life, you're 50 years old, and felt like something has destroyed your happiness. Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about, is that type of situation can happen. And is it worth playing that with that potential outcome? I don't think so. What do you suggest to someone if they've strongly believed there is bad energy, vibes, juju on themselves or in their home? Well, what's exactly going on? I'd have to figure out what's going on, Aaron. If you feel like that's happening to you, I also welcome you to message me on Insta, Sean D. Austin. I can figure out a little bit more what's going on with you to try to help you. What would you consider your best EVP experiences? One of the crazier ones just happened at the cemetery the other night. That guy was like, he will help me. And then it was so clear. It was so wild. No problem, Rose. You too. Elsie? I don't know who that is. Have you been able to have a star symbol in it? What do you, you talking about those houses that have those? I have. What and where is your next haunting? What is your preparation like? I don't want to give away where I'm going yet, but I'm going to a famously known place. The name of it is famous. That's going to be very interesting and exciting to check out. I will let you know and post about it when I'm there. Yeah, one display table. Okay. Again, guys, for any reason that you're new into the paranormal, definitely give me a sub or a follow. I'm going to be going on a road trip, heading out some different locations in different states. And I'll most likely be live tomorrow doing some investigating as well. Yeah, the cemetery nearby is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, no problem, Spencer. Can the deceased hear you talking to them? Yes, they can, Linda. You actually don't even really have to say it out loud. They can hear your thoughts. But yes, absolutely. Hello, Whitney. I think that might be the most haunted cemetery I've ever been to. I'd probably say that place and Letchworth Cemetery are just insane. Do I pick what to a location? Well, my buddy Chris is coming with me. Chris, the cop from Jersey, is coming with me next Wednesday. Gosh, that was it. Those are angel numbers, Spencer. There's a really interesting, fascinating lady called Doreen Virtue, who she's a psychic, and she has a meaning behind all those numbers. If you look up, she has a whole list. They all have a different angel message behind them, which is really interesting to theorize if there's any truth to it. But that's happened to me too. Have you visited abandoned, closed down Undertaker's morgue? Yes, I have. Did you see Bubba's Pine Barren where they threw the big branch? No, Whitney. Hello, Topa. Thank you, Topa.
Even when it's uncomfortable.
Even when it's uncomfortable, SPI just said. Interesting. My favorite haunted place, I always tell people that my favorite haunted places are ones that are brand new, that I've never been to before, when I don't know what I'm going to pick up on. You know, it's kind of like when I did that walkthrough of that house for that lady, to kind of get those like initial impressions and kind of tap into that myself, because it's, you know, I'm my own piece of equipment. You know, I want to like tap in and be able to help and, you know, culminate all the information and the pieces of evidence to figure out what's going on. Thank you, Catherine. Welcome to. Glad to have you here. Yes, I'll be going on a road trip next week. I'll be doing some live streams, some haunted locations in different states. So, yeah, I mean, if you know, true psychics don't want to have information because if you get information, it's hard to. Your rational mind tries to fill in the blanks. So now, when I go to some of these places, like when I film episodes, I'm getting in a habit now. I'm like, all right, I really got to like tap into my abilities, not focus on just live streaming. I have to like use my gifts. So like when I'm holding this thing and I'm holding 2 streams, and like I'm trying to like interact with some of you guys, like it's kind of hard to like hone in all my gifts. So that's why it's good that I go film, you know, a case like that. I film my walkthrough and I can focus on just my abilities, and get all that stuff organically, naturally coming to me. Hello, Paul. Just a few in Canada, but no, not much. I believe Bigfoot is a prehistoric man-like creature that once lived. All the characteristics that people experience with the Bigfoot, a ghost can do too, which also would answer why it would be so elusive and no one would ever be able to capture the thing. That is my theory, even though I've never searched for it. Been to Hinsdale House many times. Everybody knows about SPI. I'm the creator of this software from a concept that I came up with. SAM mode is specifically engineered to listen for EVPs, translated to text with open source technology outside of human speech frequencies in this amazing, interesting, fascinating, innovative mode to try to communicate with spirits. It's on iOS right now, SPI, Spirit Phone Innovations. Check it out. I leave the SAM mode on during my entire investigations. It's kind of like an Ovilus on steroids, but it's not the same as Ovilus. It's trying to interpret EVPs for us rather than the manipulation of the energy around the device and only having a vocabulary list. There's no data, there's no vocabulary list, there's no word banks. It can say anything. When you click on, you mean like the saved files, Whitney? You mean like the words that came through before? What I would try to do is click on account, log out, and log back in. Because when I've had a couple of little weird, like buggy things happen, I just log out and log back in and it fixes itself. Try that. If it doesn't work, just message me and let me know so I can have them look into it. Thank you, Dion. Thank you, Marilyn. Yes. Smissy, tell me your question. Awesome, Appalachian. Sounds good. The SAM mode's where it's at. Just be patient because it's trying to listen for EVPs. So do EVPs around it. Put the spirit box onto it. Because remember, it's listening. And a video clip I'm posting tomorrow from the newest episode of Up Against Evil. I was in this lady's home helping her out. And literally SPI in the SAM mode said Ryan. And then directly right after that, Spirit Box says Ryan is a needy child. And the homeowner was standing right there. And she literally said, oh my God, that's one of the family members' sons. And he has mental issues. For that to say those two things together and that connect like that and those two devices like that is just wild. How do you explain something like that? Okay, Whitney. No, I don't have any kids and I'm not married. Do other people in my family have abilities? My mom's picked up on a couple little things. My sister's like a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. But my aunt actually did a family tree of ours, and there's actually white witches in our family tree, psychic mediums and stuff. So Native Americans. So there is definitely some sort of spiritual lineage um, that is connected in there. We just investigated Ohio State Formator and regret not having it then because there were so many EVPs in the West Attic. Do you have to be connected to the internet with the app? Um, in most cases, you do have to be connected to the internet, even though you can still try if it does. The reason is that we're using AI. AI is doing text to speech. It's an AI version of text to speech using open source. So because that AI technology is not in every device, it needs to like listen and then it's interpreting and they're talking to each other what it believes it's saying. Adam, what's up, buddy? But some people have told me that they've still gotten results even on airplane mode. So experiment as you can, but if you can get internet service, I would. Of course, you want to be objective about what comes through. I know people are skeptical about other apps because of that and all that stuff, but just use multiple things to validate it. Just like I do with my psychic abilities. When I say something and something else comes through multiple devices, then I know that I'm going towards something that is, validated and it's genuine. So, again, if you watch the latest episode of Up Against Evil, it literally goes, enough of this. And right before that on EVP, I got it, enough of this. And then I have him saying on the spirit box later on that same day in the investigation going, enough. So that is SPI, EVP, and spirit box saying enough. Three different occasions on three different methods on an investigation saying the same word. And this guy was pissed. He wanted me out of there. And that's what you look for. Multiple things to validate what is coming through there. Definitely. So just leave it on during the investigation to see what connects to it. If you guys have Android and you want to join the mailing list, Wend is just posted the Discord in the chat. We are taking emails to when the time that we can actually get this going, hopefully sooner than later, to get that version out, and we will notify you when it comes out. Sherry, thank you so much. Am I able to do that, Paul? Yes. Have I seen myself lining up people to like read them? No, I've always used it on investigations. I don't know. We'll see if I decide to float that idea one day. I don't know. Brandy, thank you so much. I'm definitely capable of doing it. I kind of, you know, feel weird like charging people for something like that. Sherry, thank you so much. Brandy, thank you. Why don't spirits take a hint like you tell them they leave, they don't leave? Because they're stubborn just like human beings. You remember? The kind that we are too. Because most of these spirits are human spirits and they have the same personality that they did in life. And they're stubborn as hell. Boobly, how we doing?
Left.
On your left. Well, the app is on my left, so the spirit's probably telling me somebody's standing here next to me. That's kind of weird. Brandy, thank you again. Ellie, how we doing? Brandy, thank you so much. Do I think some humans are not humans? No. Whatever humans are, humans are. You know, if a human spirit loves a place they don't want to leave, you know, then they're not going to leave because they have such love to that place. That's the same interpretation why I believe a lot of Native American spirits don't transition, because they had such an unconditional love for nature and earth in general. They were very spiritual people. I can so appreciate that, and they really appreciated this place, and that's probably why they kind of just hover around and just wanting to be a part of the place that they had such love for in their lives. Brandy, thank you again. Again, guys, for any reason that you're new into the paranormal, make sure you give me a sub or follow. I'm live every week, paranormal content every week. I'm going to be going on a road trip next week. Going to be hitting up multiple haunted locations for y'all. Oh, wow, Ellie. That's what I had to do to use SPI. Well, yeah, it said some weird demon names on mine, too. Remember, it has the ability to say literally anything, so it's not limited to like 2,000 words. Oh, boy. You wonder if there's a good harness so you don't have to hold any live devices. Yeah, right. Well, this rig that I have here holds the 2 lives, and now I'm gonna have to use my other old phone so I can at least film a horizontal video. So when I put it together for an episode, I don't have to use the vertical. I did film one more thing with vertical that I did at the big huge cemetery. I did great interviews. It's all filmed nice. Chris helped me, Chris Mendez, but it's got vertical stuff in there. But that'll be a really good thing. But it has to be like horizontal. Yeah, that happens to me too, Lori. Oh wow, Ellie, that's crazy. Okay, cool. I have been to Utah. We filmed an episode from Ghost Loop, a series I was on for Travel Channel. We were dealing. Actually, I did an exorcism ritual in that lady's home because it was an incubus type haunting that was going on there. I also checked out some other restaurant that I believe Ghost Adventures went to. I forget the name of it. It was really haunted. It reminded me of Bobby Mackey's in there. Utah is pretty gorgeous. The mountains in the back looks fake. It looks like a backdrop. Mama Sherry, thank you. Brandy, Vicky, thank you. No, I don't think I went northern. Kind of just traveled the main parts and, you know, hit up some restaurants and just we filmed there and we took off. That was the only time I was over there. Vicky, thank you again. Again, guys, any questions you have, you know, regarding the paranormal, or if you want to share a story, ask my opinion. Yeah, they did tear it down, Christy. Yeah. I forget the name of it, that restaurant. I agree. Sam mode is where it's all at. Am I going to be live tonight? I am live right now. I'm not doing any investigating tomorrow. I'll do a little bit live streaming investigating tomorrow. I'm taking a little break tonight. Do I believe in Jesus Christ? Yes. I'm a Catholic demonologist, as well as a medium. In an interesting, unique combination. I don't know if there's any other demonologist medium combinations out there. Interesting thought. Appalachian number wanted to know how I got involved. Yeah, I just told that before. Yeah, just a friend was waiting at a restaurant, very skeptical about the paranormal, wanted him to have an experience, and I always believed in ghosts, watch all the documentaries and things, and took him to a local cemetery. Instead of him having an experience, I had my first EVP of a little girl. I realized I had the next night. 2, 3 weeks later, I had a shadow little girl appear at the corner of my bed, and the rest is history. 15 years later, here I go. I started having people telling me I had a calling. I was invited on podcasts. Next thing you know, I was co-hosting a podcast, doing my own podcast. Led to me meeting Ralph Sarchi, who ended up being my mentor in demonology, who was the inspiration for the 2015 film Delivers from Evil. Eric Bana played him in the movie. I was on the series Demon Files, which is on Discovery Plus. You can watch. There's 3 episodes. Then I published my first book, Shadow Chaser, and then I did another TV show, Ghost Loop. Traveled around the country, did multiple documentaries, and then I was on the Netflix series 28 Days Haunted, and did my second book, published my second book, and here I am doing what I'm still continuously doing today. Scariest encounter? What's the scariest thing you can imagine? I have seen demonic creatures, the worst of the worst that you can imagine. Scales, glowing eyes, fangs, reptilian looking things. Just really disturbing things. I've seen like little girl ghosts with dark eyes and fangs. The Annabelle demon thing from the Annabelle Followed Me Home One Night. The demon from the Conjuring 3 movie followed me home one night too. There's a video on my YouTube channel that you can see. I've seen a lot of stuff over the years, guys. The only thing that I would actually give me shock value if I was just chilling in my apartment and just saw something like levitating. That would definitely be taking my experiences to the next level. Have I seen things like literally hit and thrown? I have, but something like that is definitely haven't seen yet. Oh, very cool, Appalachian. Yeah, I felt bad that when they had to sleep in that store. It seemed pretty rough. We definitely had at least a bed and breakfast place, but it was very intense still. Yeah, there's all drama going on with that house, Maryland. I did go to the Conjuring house back in 2020 with the old owners. Definitely active that night. Nice, Josh. Do I believe in aliens? I definitely believe there's other life out there. There's infinite amount of planets. There has to be. I would think. Yes, guys, please go watch the 4th episode of Up Against Evil. Just posted it. If you're not aware, I started a new series on my YouTube channel, Up Against Evil. There's 4 episodes. Getting better at filming, little by little, getting little tricks. So hope you'll watch it and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. It's helping people dealing with negative spirits. No, I do not ever provoke ghosts just to try to push them out, because it's a very thin line. The only time I use provocation is to force them out with religious provocation, to force them out of the shadows to figure out what I'm dealing with, if it's potentially demonic spirit. If it's a human spirit, falling apart. If it's a human spirit, I try to get down on an individual level and try to figure out why they're there in the first place. If they're not willing to go, then I would bless the home afterwards. Yeah, not gonna say it's not possible, Marilyn, but I think the answers would be a little different. I do believe that some of the alien encounters people have actually had can be demonic spirits, because remember, demonic spirits can actually shapeshift into anything that they want to. So who's to say that they're not making people believe that it's something else, but putting them in a frightening, position, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, where they would be induced into fear, a fearful state, which is what they feed off. So. But I'm not going to say every single alien encounter is a demonic spirit, but I definitely believe some of them definitely could be, because I know firsthand that demonic spirits can shapeshift. I've seen it happen. I've seen a version of my own self in a vision. It's crazy. Um, there was a case from the Demon Files that I filmed back in 2015, and the family that we did an exorcism ritual in the house, they ended up moving, and I had dinner with them when I was filming an EP down in Nashville. They wanted to have dinner with me because I hadn't seen them since filming. And so we were talking about the case, and my producer of the CD, he was freaked out. He's like, I don't want to talk about this. So I ended up sleeping back at the house where the producer lives, because his studio was in the house in Nashville. And I remember very vividly, I had this vision that I was sleeping in the room, and I saw there was a mirror at the other side of the bedroom, and I could see in the mirror a version of me in the mirror, but it wasn't me. And then it had this really sadistic, evil grin. And the best way I can tell you is that it projected its sadistic desires onto me, where I actually was able to feel the desire to wanting to take a sharp object and to myself. Um, it actually projected onto me, as sick as that sounds, and it was laughing, looking at me in the mirror in the form of my face, and laughing in the mirror. And then I woke up and saw this black thing go through the ceiling, and I do believe it was the same thing from that case that the family was involved with in the Demon Files. It wanted to let me know it was still around, it was still watching, and it was pissed off. But yeah, that's just. Yes, Vicky, I just saw what you text. Yes, I've been to Bobby Mackey's. Wrote about my first Bobby Mackey experiences in my first book, Shadow Chaser. It is messed up. Kind of reminded me of what happened with the mirror at my place this past week, with the evil thing trying to pull me to the mirror, which is still happening when I left the stream on going on all night. Very nasty. Something straight out of a horror movie. Yeah, I sat here on the couch, did an EVP, and it said, come to the bathroom now. I'm like, great. I mean, some of you guys were there in the live. You were there. You watched it happen in real time. I walked to the bathroom, and I felt like it was this goat man creature that I encountered at Pine Lawn with Twin Paranormal, that was conjured up from a lady that was actually sacrificing cats to summon a demon. And I knew this thing. I've seen it in my mind's eye. It has 3 long fingers. I've seen things like this before. 3 long fingers, a tail, and hooves, and a goat-like face. And when I walked into the bathroom right over there, I started to feel this like seduction. That's the best way I can feel. Like it was almost like a devious seduction of almost wanting me to say the right words to give it permission to come through the mirror. That's what I felt psychically, intuitively. And like I'm recording an EVP, and I'm like, this is what I'm feeling. And when you hear back the EVP, right after I say that, you hear, you're smart. And I'm like, is that what you're doing? And then the SPI app goes, if I could. So then I'm like, all right, if there's something in the freaking mirror, make a bang noise inside the mirror. And the freaking mirror banged on the live in front of everybody. Loud as hell. And then there were 3 distinct bangs, taps right after that. And if you know the 3 things, the mockery of the Holy Trinity. And I was like, yeah, that's enough. Holy water on the mirror. Time to go. And by the way, while this was happening, while it was trying to seduce me, I was seeing images it was projecting onto me of me constantly ramming my head into the mirror over and over and over again until the mirror broke and cracked, and there was blood everywhere. And I was seeing this in my image, like it was wanting me to do that. That's like something right out of a horror movie, straight up. So yeah, Yes, as soon as the bang happened on the mirror, the entire live feed started to pixelate. Yeah. So that's my life. Yeah, it's nasty, nasty. A blue demon? I'm not sure about a blue demon. That's kind of like why I'm like taking a little breather for a couple of days, because I'm like, yo, that thing's trying to get through my mirror into here. And then I left the stream on here last night, and it was saying, "Come to the bathroom." The mirror, it was like doing it again. I was like, yeah, no thanks, I'm good. Interesting enough, in that same bracket of what was going on, I had a Class A EVP that says Archangel Michael, Saint Michael protects you. I don't know whoever is in the chat if you heard that, but it was so freaking clear. And then there was a voice goes, Saint Michael's a chump, right after that. But that was at least a little comforting when I got that validation. It said it's so freaking clear. Yeah, I have my Saint Michael pendant that's blessed around my neck at all times. Hello, Amanda. It's experiences like that is why my faith is so strong, you know? Because I would not probably be surviving right now with the stuff that these things wanted to do to me. They've, like, I probably wouldn't even be here. I don't even know. These things want to retaliate, and they are not happy with me. I have, you know, yeah. Again, guys, for any reason that you're new, make sure to give me a sub or a follow. Live every week, paranormal content every week. Going on a road trip next week. Gonna be hitting up some haunted locations in different states. Hope you'll join the channel. Thank you all for being here. Definitely Ellie. It's just the mirror in the bathroom. That's the creepy thing. I've gotten accustomed to a lot, Aaron. Obviously. Hello, Doug. I do realize that sensing these things and seeing them here, even in my presence, it's like I'll get the chills and be like a little creeped out, but at the same time I can't be truly frightened of it, because if I don't believe that God or Jesus Christ or the Archangel Michael will protect me, that these things will sense that crack in your aura, and they will use that against you to take advantage of the situation, to overcome you and do what they want to idealistically do to you. And that's just straight up like evil. So, well, I bless the mirror with holy water. So, I mean, of course, I get references when I'm opening up communication here, and they're probably saying, come to the mirror, you know? I bless myself. Probably wouldn't hurt if I go to a priest and do that. I know about Paul Santo, but I took holy water and put it up there, and I blessed my whole place that night. Well, they're talking about the Old Testament when they're talking about talking with spirits. Well, I think there's a lot of things that people do in their life, and and whatever abilities they have. I believe the spiritual gift that I have, God gave it to me. It's not because I was given this. And what's most important is what I am doing with the gifts that the Lord has given me. Am I, is it a representation of light or darkness? And doing what I do obviously is endlessly fascinating, but I offer to pray for spirits and to try to bring them back to God and accept the light in heaven with unconditional love and forgiveness, and bringing awareness and showing the power of prayer to people by praying for spirits all the time. And I think that is doing God's work, in my opinion, because it's showing that this stuff is real, the power of prayer, and that good always conquers evil in the end. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. Hello from Indonesia. What's up, Shane? How are mediums of the devil but prophets aren't? That's a good question, Shane. Yeah. You know, intention is such a profound element in the paranormal. No matter what you do in investigation, whatever you do with spirits, spirits can actually, in my opinion, sense your intention. I believe they can see it around your aura when you go to a location, and they will use it against you or for you. And in my interpretation of myself, I believe because of time being linear, these spirits know that I'm coming. They know that I always offer prayer for spirits, and I get references to it all the time. And also that, if you have bad intentions, this can also affect your research, your investigation as a whole, and also risk what you can actually get yourself into because your intentions are materialistic or trying to antagonize the situation just for entertainment or for materialistic reasons. I believe these spirits know this. I believe they know all of our intentions, no matter what you say. They know subconsciously. I believe they can feel and tap into our emotions and our intentions and our aura 100 million percent. Probably two of the most profound elements in the paranormal: intention and acknowledgement. Intention, which I just discussed with you, and acknowledgement gives energy to spirits. That's why, like, when you go into someone's home, it's so easy, just like the case I just did. I'm sure when you think that you're dealing with something that's paranormal, and you may be genuinely dealing with something that's paranormal, but once you actually hear a noise, and I know how it is, because when I actually open myself up to the paranormal, when I was just a giddy little kid, and I'm just like, it just, every little noise, you're like, what was that? What was that? You're kind of like in that fight or flight mode, and you don't want to like assume everything's like paranormal, but it's very easy. That's a slippery slope, and you can acknowledge things and give it credit and energy. People speak about the Old Testament, go to church, speak to the Holy Spirit, who they can't see. True statement, Shane. Absolutely. And let alone, um, the Bible has been written over like 19 times with man having its hand in the Bible. I think the most important message, in my opinion, to take out of the Bible is the golden rule: love others the way you want to be loved. And that transcends every single religious belief that there ever was or ever will be. And I don't think God will turn away anybody who is a representation of that light and goodness, no matter what you believe in, whether you believe in something or not. My soul could have landed into an atheist body, but you know what? I could be a doctor who saves lives or a firefighter that goes in and saves people's lives. They are doing good in their life, and they have no chance to be involved spiritually in their life, even though to the core of their individuality, their body, we are all spiritual beings. We are all of that nature eternally, infinitely. So dependent on our journey in this physical world to be more involved in spirituality and the paranormal, like Shane or myself, where we do this stuff, where we were meant to be a part of this thing where, it's who we are as a core, but we're kind of like in two worlds, even though we're living in the physical world. We're really a part of the in between, so to speak. Hello, Sarah. Had a dream of your grandmother's old house. Hello, Amanda. Do you have any experiences with infinity breath meditation? I had my first vision using it. Only took about. I've never heard of infinity breath meditation, to be honest with you. I do meditate when I can. You have to understand your spiritual gift. It's like a muscle. So the more that you use it, the more that you harness it, the more you develop it. It's kind of like you think about the meditation of going to a spiritual gym. The more that you actually flex that muscle, it will improve. It's kind of like even me with my abilities. I mean, if you've known me for 3 years, my abilities have progressed and grown so much. It's actually looking back to it. I was just thinking about the other day. I mean, just if you see my walkthrough, what I just did with that lady in her house, like I wasn't able to do that like years ago. I get little pieces here and there, but my abilities have grown so much. Now I can literally just walk into a home that I've never been into and start picking up everything. And they start talking to me, and I start getting images and feelings all over the place. Again, this happened to me in the middle of my life. I've only known about my abilities in the last 14 years, or in the first year of investing in the paranormal, but my psychic gifts have grown. I'm kind of blown away how much they've grown, especially like lately. I feel like it's just getting a spiritual upgrade again or something, but it's pretty wild. To be able to walk through a location, just start picking up crazy, because it's getting more clear and concise and advanced as I've had it. Sean's a demonologist. Are you familiar with demonic entities from other cultures? Yeah, absolutely. Like Jinn and things of that nature. Skinwalkers. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's all fascinating stuff, really. Um, and again, having a different perception than people who just read about stuff. I've seen this stuff up close and personal many times. And some really disturbing stuff. Like these things, I have seen it, what they look like, and yeah, I have. Yep. How do you feel about of other people not spirit? You mean how much do I feel off other people? I can feel stuff for sure. It just depends. Oh yeah, I can definitely feel the emotions of spirits, big time, for sure. Um, Even when like it gets tense in the environment, my stomach like clams up. That's something I feel like I had even as a kid. I don't know, just there's something that like my body reacts when like when the negativity comes in the room, and my body just like ugh. If like my mom and dad were fighting and stuff like that, or something like that, I'm like ugh. But I definitely get feelings, um, if something's wrong, or it's not just spirits, it's situations too. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, it's been many years. I mean, I started live streaming on Periscope.
Vanishing point.
Vanishing point. Um, 2014, I was live streaming. I was like the cemetery guru. I think I was the first person that literally was walking around cemeteries during the day. I don't think anybody was doing that at that time. I was literally doing straight up full on investigations of cemeteries during the day, all the time, in 2014. Sounds good, Ellie. Civil War battlefields, plenty of them. Absolutely. I've got all sorts of references of soldiers in different wars. I mean, Gettysburg is one of the most. I love that place. It's haunted everywhere. I mean, I've been to a lot of places and references. Watch the video on this channel called "The House of Many Deaths." That was in Gettysburg, and there was a lot of stuff going on in that house that I posted not that long ago. I know, Jennifer. It's insane. Jennifer's been like one of my mods, and Vicky, Nancy, and like Wend. I mean, they've been watching me for like over a decade. It's crazy. It's crazy how time flies. It's like a lifetime ago. Yeah, it's nuts. Sounds good, Tony. That was really weird for me too in that place in Gettysburg. In that room, I was by myself. My buddy Chris like passed out in the car, and I was by myself, and I was sitting on the floor, and I'm like, I felt so weird, and I got really good validation of assisting someone into the light. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Wen. Likewise. Gettysburg is a must if you're into that sort of thing. It's beautiful. It's quaint. It's spiritual. It's haunted. It's just an experience you should go. Knockland Ridge House. Um, is that what it's called? You might be right. I don't know. I went to some new location that didn't hasn't been on the map that long. Oh, nice, Christina. Well, glad to have you now. Thank you, Sarah. No problem, Ellie. Sarah, she's in Indonesia. Hello, Oncom. Gettysburg is phenomenal. I will be in Gettysburg the end of July. If anybody wants to come to that event, it's for charity. It's the Gettysburg Battle Bash. I forget which date it is, but it's like one of the last weekends of July. If you look it up on Facebook, the Gettysburg Battle Bash, I will be there. I will have books and DVDs and signing stuff. Come hang out that weekend. It's kind of a good time. It's like one big paranormal party, to be honest with you. Definitely, Sarah. Have a good night, Les. No problem. Hello, Becky. Miss K, thank you. Oh, I hear you, Tony. Sounds good, Marilyn. Stonewall Manor. Oh, it's in North Carolina. I live in Wilmington. I'll have to look it up. Wonder how far that is from me. Zen, what do you want the my website? It's SeanDAustin.com. Join the Discord, guys, if you want live updates, or if you want to get on the mailing list for Android. Yeah, Matt, sounds good. Oh, sorry about that, baby. Sometimes trolls come in and get a little hectic, but basically just a smaller group now because I'm just talking and it's a busy night for, I'm sure, for the platforms. That's why the numbers aren't really high. Oh, cool, Appalachian. That's not that far. I have to get rid of some ghostly mods on TikTok because I think it's a bunch of them aren't there anymore. I was literally gonna add you, Sarah, but it says I'm full. I'll have to go down the list and see anyone who's not doing it anymore. That's awesome, Ellie. Yeah, it kind of is. But Wilmington's gorgeous. Thank you, Sarah. Hello from Northern California. How do souls get trapped earthbound? There's many diversified reasons why people pass away. There's many different diversified tragedies that happen. So when there's a lower vibrational event that leads to someone's passing, if they've been unalived, or a tragedy like car accident or just horrific thing that happened, that can lead to a soul being earthbound because they lost their life at a young age, or they want justice for their passing because someone took it from them. Those are the types of situations, or if they're a bad person in life, or they're afraid of judgment, things like of that nature would, in my opinion, lead to a recipe of a ghost. Yeah, the beaches here are absolutely freaking stunning. I've been seeing dark figures since I was little. No BA. I saw a big bright blue figure when I was meditating. Got up and I wanted to fight it, but if it was blue, typically, Abby, it's supposed to be something of protective or angelic. I'm not sure exactly what you saw definitively, but that's been my experience. Trivet Clinic is on my list. I'm definitely going to check that place out. There are hard to find North Carolina spots. That's why I'm going to look up that Stonewall Manor. Trivet Clinic is on my list. I'm definitely going to check that place out. 100%. I'm all over that. Brenda, thanks for the follow. Tracy, thank you. If you know of any other places in North Carolina, man, that do overnight investigations, let me know, because I'd love to know in North Carolina. Shoot me a message on Appalachian on Instagram. My name's Sean D. Austin on there. Not bad. How are you? Just having a lay low night tonight. Figured do a little chat tonight. I'm going to be doing a road trip next week, hitting up some spots, a couple different states. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that place out. They're always watching, but they'll stop in from time to time and let you know and give you a sign somehow. Yeah, it's possible you're seeing something, Marilyn.
Wait now.
Which way now? SPI just said. What is your opinion about seeing a relative spirit leave their body at the time they pass while they're likely? Well, you may have witnessed that taking place in the astral realm, like an outer body experience, and you can actually go back in time and even witness it too. One of the most profound outer body experiences I ever had is all of a sudden I was floating in church, and I was floating down the aisle of the pews, and I saw my 8 to 10-year-old version of myself. I had a blonde mushroom haircut, and my dad was standing next to me. I could hear the church music so vividly, and as soon as I got close to myself, my younger self and me both locked eyes, and I heard this echoing voice say to me, Sean, you're going back too far. You need to come back. And I felt my body get sucked back in this centrifugal force, boom. And I was humming the church music when I woke up. Again, time is linear when it comes to the spiritual side of things. So you could have witnessed it in real time, or you could have seen it in the past or the future. Yeah. I've been to Prospect Place. That's in my first book, being at that place. I've investigated many asylums. Prospect Place was the first out of state location that I'd ever investigated. Hello, Ice Gold. Thank you, appreciate you. Make sure to go follow me on my YouTube. It's Sean Austin Paranormal. I started my own series on there as well called Up Against Evil, helping people deal with negative spirits. I got 4 episodes up there and plenty of other videos. Go check it out if you can. Yeah, one was mentioned to that earlier to me. I remember that time we were in Letchworth Village, this old haunted asylum. It's the first big, huge haunted place I've ever been to that was abandoned, and old mental hospital. And we were in one of the side dormitories, and that side dormitory was so freaking haunted, dude. And you know, all of a sudden we just like something happened. Like we heard something move inside the dormitory, and we got creeped out. We stood out. I think I said, you know what it was? I said a prayer for a spirit. It got pissed off. We walked outside, and then we literally heard furniture like being thrown inside the dormitory from outside. We were like, what the hell? And we're like walking away from the building, and all of a sudden we just feel like we just hear this loud thud like hit the ground, like a huge rock was thrown at us, and we just freaking jetted. We started running to my car, and we got to my car, back to my car, and we sat in the car, and right when we got in the car, someone banged the top of the car, and I was live streaming the whole thing. There were people that actually witnessed that in real time. We were just like, what the freak is happening? It was so nuts. Have you captured activity by the beaches of North Carolina? So some spirits from the beaches, I believe when I was near Fort Fisher, had followed me back here to my home and referenced that they followed me from the beach. I've been to St. Albans a few times. Yep, good spot. Forgot about St. Albans. If you die instantly, hopefully you just end up in the light, like this. Yeah, I mean, I was literally the cemetery guru, literally walking around cemeteries during the day. 2014, 15, I was doing that. Now everybody does that now. Any of those psychiatric places, Colleen, it's the energy, and especially me as a medium, being sensitive to that, I pick up so much from those types of places. I haven't made any music, but there is a song I haven't released yet. I'd like to put out. I have it recorded. I would like to get back into writing some music. I love that, you know. But though luckily, you know, my creative side has been having, at least being like used, my artistic side in the creation of these videos. It's been really interesting. I'm very picky about the music that I choose for the the videos, the episodes, because I feel like the music is just as important as the moment that's going on, because it can take away if it's like cheesy. Like I really I want to make sure like every little music piece, and I have fun like choosing that, and it makes me feel like it amplifies like a moment that's already chilling to me. Like I remember like choosing the music for that really emotional moment at the end when the mother and the son, I believe, crossed over, and then those two lights came out of the pink and the purple thing, and it's just like, dude, it like made me like tear up and like get chills every time I watch that ending. I'm just like, oh god, it gives me the chills. It's just so like, hits you hard. But yeah, I have like fun like doing that artistic stuff with creating the videos. But I definitely would love to get back into writing some songs and things like that. It's very natural for me to be able to write songs. Yeah, I'd love to go investigate Indonesia. I'm sure that'd be interesting. I have not had any experiences with Sasquatch. Someone asked me that before. My belief, in theory only, I've never gone out and searched for it, is that it's some sort of prehistoric man-like creature that is a spirit. All the characteristics and manifestations of what a Bigfoot does: wood knocking, rock throwing, footsteps, growling, foul smells, are all things that ghosts can do, and it would explain why the thing's so elusive and we can never capture it. So that is going to be my theory behind that. Yeah. Those lights coming out of the floor, man, I've never even captured anything like that before. It looked like CGI. It's crazy. Just wild. And I just captured that by mistake. And like I was looking at the B-roll and I almost like missed it. And I'm just like, what is that? Yeah, it makes sense, Colin. Me either. Let alone it was one big one and the small ones behind it, like a mother duckling to like a child. It was following everywhere it went. You know, it had an intelligence to it. There was no reflection with that video, like coming out of the floor. There was nothing. There was no light in there. It was a rainy day. There was no sun. I had no light on. It was light out. I mean, it's just really you got to watch the video. That's episode 3 of Up Against Evil. Watch the whole thing. This guy was pissed. He had trapped this boy, and he wasn't good to him. You'll find out more about that. Go watch that episode here on my YouTube channel. Episode 3, The Tormentor. Um, Crazy evidence, and just chilling emotional ending of what happened, and just clear responses of the spirits getting help. And it's pretty pretty profound. Yeah, you're allowed to have a different theory, Christina. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting better at filming stuff. It's kind of fun for me. Um, and I'm only using cell phones to film all that. Obviously I was using like live stream footage. At least now I'm using like an older phone that's like, at least it's decent. Um, Now the one thing I just filmed that I just posted was all my new phone, which actually it looked all really good. So that came out good too. But just the parts. I have a wireless mic now for the interviews and making sure you can hear everyone's voices. Just learning to get better at that, and I want to continuously do these episodes of Up Against
Blanket.
Evil. A blanket. Um, oh, thank you, Nikki. Yeah, me either, Matt. Probably did, Christy. Oh, thank you, Blake. Yep, the link right there by Wend. That said blanket. Probably no, because it's getting late or something. Yes, that is the best way to support. The link on my YouTube with the PAYPAL is the best. I'm not gonna say the word. Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, if you guys know of any, families that are dealing with any negative spirits in their home, that's in the Midwest or the East Coast of the country, I would love to talk with them and see if it would be a good fit to go film the case and, um, you know, uh, bring awareness to the reality of the things and try to help them ultimately. Oh, I'd love to investigate the White House. My number one is just lock me in the Amityville house. That would be my dream. Again, guys, for any reason that you're new, make sure to give me a sub or a follow for Into the Paranormal. Live investigating paranormal content every week. Go watch the 4 episodes of Up Against Evil. Just posted the 4th episode on my YouTube channel. Leave a comment. Series Definitely amazing evidence, really interesting stories. Yeah, I know, like, no one's gonna know what house it is, Maryland. New York is where I'm originally from. I lived there for many years. Dion, thank you so much. I'm originally from the Yonkers area in Westchester, New York. I lived there for most of my life. Oh, that's good, man. Yeah, it can get intense sometimes. Probably not, Matthew. It would be out of this world, Amityville. I would love that. I have personal experiences with it. The documentary behind me, Amityville: The Resurgence. I mean, that's about my personal um, experiences having to do with the case. Yeah, I know what you mean, Brenda. That stuff from that house followed me around. That's that's all about my experiences. I wrote about my experiences in my second book too, Shadow Chaser: The In Between. Heck, you're right. Sounds good, Appalachian. Appreciate it. Sounds good. You have a great evening. Yeah, go watch the trailer on YouTube. Amityville: The Resurgence. You can see a trailer, what happened. A little bit more about what that documentary is about. Flower Moon. No problem, Matt. Thank you. Yeah, I think I just saw that. Yeah, I will get that out to you. I'll mail that out to you before I take off for my trip. Hope you enjoy them. I've worked with Sarah a couple of times, Becca. Um, I had a really crazy time with them at Preston Castle. Really, why that place is super haunted. And yeah, they're really great people. They're really talented, and hope to work with them again. Oh yeah, Nancy, definitely in the car with Ralph. Nice, Becca. Everyone says that people living there after never felt anything. I heard a rumor that the people living there experienced something recently. I don't know if it's definitely true, but I did hear something. But I'll tell you, without even me being in that house, the stuff associated with that case is no joke. You have to watch the documentary. I got George Lutz's voice on Spirit Box saying Amityville stole my soul. It was following me around. When I was writing the story about Amityville in my book about my experiences, it was during the winter and I would hear in my ear like a fly buzzing by my ear. Every time something would reference that case, it would happen. I had some weird stuff going on with that case. Let me freaking tell you. I was waking up at 3:15 in the morning every night, seeing a black mist go through my ceiling after having a nightmare about the house. It was just freaking weird. Where that you still have that house, Tracy? What state was that in again? Amityville, The Resurgence, Matthew. If you type it in on YouTube, the trailer will come up and where to watch it. I do, Matthew, I do have the DVD, the physical copy, if you want a signed copy, through my website as well. If you want that, if you want to stream it, you have to go to scarenetwork.tv. If it's just sitting there abandoned and I could get in there, dude, Tracy, I would totally go and investigate it. That's not far from me. I'll go check it out. I know we had talked about that like years back about possibly going and checking it out. I'll definitely go, for sure, if I'm able to get in. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Colleen. I've been to Gates of Heaven, Aaron. I've investigated there. Yeah, you can get a signed copy of the Amityville Resurgence DVD right from my website, SeanDaustin.com. Yes, I did a session in front of Babe Ruth's grave, as a matter of fact, because my coworker, I didn't work far from there, was obsessed with Babe Ruth. All right, let me know. I would totally go. Did I check for subterranean rivers? No, never done that. Babe Ruth's a famous Yankee baseball player.
Right behind you.
Great. Wonderful. And again, guys, if you don't know, this is SPI from a concept I came up with. SPI Spirit Phone Innovations. It's on iOS right now. SAM mode is specifically engineered to translate EVPs into text from the audio and the environment outside of human speech frequencies. Never been done before. Has the ability to say anything. No limitations to vocabulary lists, word banks. Check it out. It's on iOS right now. I leave it on my entire investigations to see what comes through. As you can see what I was doing. It's kind of like an obelisk on steroids because it can say anything, but it's not a manipulation. It's literally listening for EVPs in the audio environment. Sounds good, Brenda? Yep, SAM mode is definitely awesome. What does SAM stand for? So someone had an idea and call it Sean Austin mode. So that's what SAM stands for, actually. Funny part. Wasn't my idea, but I thought that was kind of a unique thing to throw in there since I am the creator of the idea. Yeah, no, not really, Marilyn. Yeah. Hello, Uki. Yep. If you guys have Android, you want to get on the mailing list, Wend has the Discord link in the chat, or go to my YouTube. The Discord link is in the list. Add yourself to it, and we will get you on the list for when we get the Android version done, and you'll be notified as soon as we get it done. That's wild, Lindsay. I hope so, Matthew. I think the word's starting to spread little by little. I wouldn't say it's huge yet, but it's definitely getting some rounds. We're on our way, definitely on a path, and I'm hoping that it gets out there. I hope if you guys know anybody that's into the paranormal, that's does that sort of thing, tell them about the app, tell them about Sam, because that's where it's at. And the more videos that I'm putting out, you see the crazy evidence I'm getting with it, and it's correlating with the spirit box and the EVPs. It's really insane. You can see a perfect example of that in the last episode of Up Against Evil. I put up the 4th episode on my YouTube channel here. Damn, Lizzie. That's awesome, Matthew. That's good you're seeing it overseas. Yeah. Yeah, we do have a Discord, Tracy. It's over. Just go to my YouTube and then go to the links, and on the bottom there's a Discord link. I'm not sure, Steve, but whenever it's time for all of us to go, I mean, I'm pretty sure we probably deserve the next meteor that unalived the dinosaurs. So I'm sure when we have like robots going to work for us and we're just sitting home and doing everything for us, pretty sure we probably should just get the meteor and hit the reset button, all and start all over again, go back to being cavemen. Awesome, Ellie. Very cool. Awesome. Sounds good, Tracy. You can also message Jennifer for the link too, yeah. I wish you could send links to click on Tickety Talk, but of course they have so many wild rules. If you want to get on the Android list, Colleen, you got to go to my YouTube channel, Sean Austin Paranormal, and then go to my links on my main page. It's on the bottom of the list. Just click it, add yourself, and yeah, we'll get you on the mailing list for when Android gets done. Yeah. When we'll get you set up on the mailing list. Guys, thank you for giving this video a thumbs up. Let's see if we can get 100 likes on this video. Thank you guys for tapping on the screen. Hello, Liberty Eyes. All right, guys, you have any more questions for me? Since I've been doing this for 2.5 hours, it was really nice to talk with you. I will do some live investigating tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a road trip, hitting up a bunch of states, multiple haunted locations next week. Sounds good, Lindsay. Make sure to go watch one of my episodes of Up Against Evil, Lindsay, on this channel here. Nice, Becca. Oh, that's good. Thank you, Lori. Well, I'm not going to be leaving until Wednesday, but that's when it starts. Going to a really exciting, cool place to investigate Wednesday night. You guys will be really excited for a really cool place. And I'll be turning that into an episode too, so I'll be filming it and live streaming it. Hello, Angela. I'm okay. About yourself? But I'm going to be taking off here because I've been doing this for 2.5 hours. So I'm going to relax for the remainder of the night. Sky, thank you so much. The co-pilot, yeah. I know about those places, Aaron. I've been to one of them before. I'd like to go back. We'll see. All right, everyone, have a wonderful evening. I will see you guys tomorrow on a live. And make sure, go check out SPI and iOS, Spirit Phone Innovations, the app that was created here. Check out Up Against Evil, all the episodes. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for anyone that threw down for any gifts or super chats or contributed. I appreciate you all. We weren't talking about the movie as a talking about the real thing. Everyone have a wonderful evening. God bless, and I will see you guys on the next live. Thank you all, as always. I appreciate you all.